Got it. You guys, welcome to the team meeting. Thank you so much for being here at this noon hour. Hopefully you had some good productive lead generation this morning. I think that's the important part, right? So let's get started with our events here. Let me move this out of the way. Simon, read what this is for me.
So win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all. Success results through people.
That's the belief system here at Keller Williams. If you guys are new, there is a really fun acronym. Sophia, say it for me.
Y for C2Ts.
Say it again.
Y for C2Ts.
Y for C2Ts. When I first started Keller Williams, I was like, what are you even saying? Slow it down for me. Phonetically spelled WHY, 4 FOUR, 2 CO, right? But no, it stands for our belief system. We love acronyms here to be able to remember these things. What does it really mean? What does it mean, Kimberly? What does it mean to you? Like, what sticks out to you today?
My absolute favorite is the win-win or no deal. I just wrote down, I want to put that on a t-shirt because I really, that like belief system for us, but also might make people feel more comfortable working with someone who feels that. And I believe that that's a really good way to do business.
100%. Not only you personally, but also that you align yourself with a business that believes in so much that they write it down and make shirts and have a silly acronym about it, right? Win-win or no deal for our office fans is win-win-win. Negotiation style, but the point is that we put our customers in a solutions-based environment. We want everyone to feel the win in whatever capacity that looks like. Drake?
I was going to add to that was, even though this is our belief system for our culture here at the office, when you start living this actually becomes your life too. So everything that you do, even if it's outside of work, you start talking about the win-win and constantly having integrity, even when no one's watching.
Imagine how powerful this would be if you put it in your listing presentation. These are the beliefs of me and my business, right? Customers come first, win-win or no deal, integrity. It's like those are hot button keywords that people look for because we know, according to NAR, reputation is everything, right? That was the number one thing that they're looking for in a realtor is reputation when it comes to a listing agent. Share this. This is available to you on the KW Coastal Hub resources page. We share this over and over again. We have shirts that say Y for C2Ts. Be proud of who you are and be proud that you align yourself with a company who believes these things so much that they write them down and have them in their team meetings. Okay, so that just segues us into one of my favorite things that talks about culture and creativity and our commitment to excellence, which is our little bucket fills. So I'm going to kick this off because there's a person standing in the back that I just want to do a little shout out and highlight because I have a bucket fill for them. And I don't know if you guys saw on social media over the weekend, but I just want to highlight a little bit the LC Realty team with Leslie Campos because they did an amazing little Easter egg hunt with other clients. Leslie, do you want to share some of your successes?
So basically it was an event I did for my farm. And I sent out postcards and I asked if anybody wanted to participate, they could register. And those that registered, we snuck out after 10 p.m. the night before Easter and hid 10 eggs for kids in their yard for them. So they had a choice, they could do candy or toys, but some kids had allergies, and it was better than I expected. I was really thinking, I'm gonna get like 8 or 9 kids. No, we had 52 kids we had to hide eggs for. And I enlisted Jordan and my daughter and my husband, and we were running around the neighborhood, hoping to not get arrested, running through people's yards. It was really funny actually, because at one point, Chloe and Jordan had hidden like 40 of 50 eggs at this one particular house. And the guy came out and said, "Can I help you?" We're here for the egg event. We're just hiding the egg. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know what event you're talking about." And realized she was at the wrong address. So they rambled to find the 40 that she was so proud of. Most of the houses were just like grass, and you were just kind of like running around throwing eggs in the yard. No, they had like lovingly taken the time to like hide them in the hedges and on the tree branches and on the mailbox. And then she was like, I think we got them all, because at that point it's dark, they're running around with flashlights and trying to recollect all the eggs. But it was a great time. The kids came out in the morning, and I think even better than the kids was the parents were so ecstatic that they themselves did not have to hide eggs. So I had canvas bags made for each of the kids that we wrapped up and left on the porches. And then I had those signs made, and on one side was the instructions for the kids, the other side was my branding. And so now when you drive through the neighborhood, my signs are still in the yard, which I will be will stay through the month of April, because I have 2 Asians encroaching in my farm, and I want them to know they need to.
But yeah, I just want to give a shout out. It was beautiful, wonderful sentiment, but I think from a PR standpoint, what was awesome was Easter. I logged in to see what all you guys were doing, and social media was flooded with these videos and pictures of these parents who were so grateful for what Leslie and our team did. So I just want to give a shout out of saying you had an idea and you executed it to a super high level, and I think it set a really awesome standard. So just shout out Buckfield to Leslie, you guys. Perfect. Anyone else have any bucket fills? Buckets they'd like to fill? I have one more, but let someone else to go. Leslie.
I'd like to fill the bucket of some of the mentees. You know, they've really stepped up lately to try to really be present in their own businesses. Brandy was kind enough last week, right, as well as this past weekend, to offer for listing up for them. They showed up in droves. You know, they were there working in teams of 4 or 5 at some point. And as a result, 2 of the, I call them boys, they're all boys to me. 2 of the young men captured their first deal through somebody who came through the open house, and they're working that deal together. So, you know, to the mentees that are out there, it's possible. Get out there, be busy, be present. You'll earn some business too.
Yeah, now more than ever, we're hearing a lot of open houses not getting covered, even just little showings here and there. I'm having these big agents saying, hey, I need help with showings this weekend. I'll compensate you a little bit, gift card, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, get involved. This is experience. No matter what the level of involvement is, you're learning and you're seeing and you're watching and you're learning for something that can be implemented in the future for your business. So that's awesome. Round of applause for our new agent. Okay, I have one more bucket fill. Cool. So, announcement. I just want to give a little shout out and appreciation that Drake Cruz has been chosen to be the regional ambassador for KW Military for the whole region. So you guys, congratulations, Drake. Super awesome. Looking forward to having that interjected into our office a little bit more and having you bring that community to us so that it's available to all the military and their families and people who are passionately affected by that. So I love that. Thank you. Any other shout outs, bucket fills? We're gonna move on. Okay, moving on. Let's welcome our newcomers. We have Yolanda. I don't think she's here in person. Yolanda, I'm not sure if you're on Zoom, but welcome. Yolanda actually was in the real estate industry back in 2001 and 2002. She served a banner year, and she actually was rookie of the year at her brokerage that time. I think she had like 8 closings in her first year of business, which is pretty amazing. But she's really excited to kind of do her relaunch here at Coastal. So if you're on Zoom, Yolanda, welcome. We have Marlene. Welcome back, Marlene. So excited to have you back.
Thank you.
Does it feel like coming home?
Yes,
We miss you.
amazing.
Brandy's reaction. It was cute. Brandy's reaction. She was like, oh, yeah, we're so excited.
Nice to be back home.
Oh, we miss you. I
Thank
love that.
you.
Welcome back. And then of course we do have James. Hi, welcome. James is starting his business here. James, any comments? About excited?
Yeah, no, super excited to definitely learn the industry. New to this industry before, new to this industry now. Been in sales for many years, but I'll be picking at everyone's brain here. So I'm sure I'll catch a few conversations around. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you guys. Welcome back. Okay, just a couple of quick little announcements. If you guys didn't see my post on Facebook, I'm doing a survey about our G Suite services. There's some things that are coming about on the Keller Williams level, and I need to know from you. So do me a favor, scan this QR code and fill out. It's literally 6 questions. It will take you guys less than 5 minutes, and it's very, very important I receive this feedback. It's so important. Then I'm going to choose randomly from the submissions to receive a gift at the next team meeting. So if you like, I wanted to use the word free, but if you like surprises, make sure you guys fill this out for me. Do me a favor, fill it out. Otherwise, we're probably going to be calling you and asking you to fill it out. So do me a favor, scan that code, go on the Facebook shares, and just fill it out quickly. So that way I can receive the feedback. Okay. Perfect, thank you. Next up, let's recognize some of our closings here. So congratulations to our March closings. It was a great month. We have a lot of names up here. If you guys see your name on here, great, congrats. If you don't, you still have time to get on the board for this month. So shout out to all of our producers, congrats. Make sure your applause hands are ready. These are our top producers. Beth, of course, had her first transaction, but congrats to our top sales volume. We had a ton of volume this last month. It was amazing. A lot of people were just neck and neck. And then the top units closed, same thing. It was just nice and robust. We love to see so many names on there, but it was just like, there really wasn't much difference between everyone. And then highest sales price, Kendra. Kendra is just really amazing working in that luxury market. So congrats if you guys are here on the board. Good to see some new names and people up there too. Congrats, Sandra. That's awesome. Closings. Okay. So this one's a little funny. Not to belittle these 2 closings that we have. Congrats, Ace and Stelios. But one of them was a mobile home. So if you guys notice, the number's a little different this week, right? Normally we're in the 10 millions. This week, no, it is not a typo. Thank you, Leslie. I debated almost not showing this, and then I thought, but this is who we are. And this is what we had. And sometimes we have weeks that are 10 million plus, and sometimes we have weeks that we don't even break 400. And that's the reality of it. It's the business. That's what you guys see in your business. So it's important to not just celebrate and share the awesome things, but also to celebrate the opportunities that we have to improve. Right? So anyway, shout out to your guys' closings. Awesome. Congrats. New listings. Let's talk about them. New listing, Kendra in Huntington Beach. It's a 4 unit on Sims Lane. It's listed for $2.275. Huntington Harbor. Kelly Lopes has her. Kelly, I think I saw you on Zoom. Do you want to share a little bit about your listing?
Sure. Hi, Halley. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is a fantastic opportunity for anyone who has clients looking in the Los Feliz area. It's actually kind of between Los Feliz and Silver Lake, and it's gorgeous. It's up on a hill. It's actually in the Franklin Hills district. It's priced, there's almost nothing like it in the area. So for anybody who's looking for a unit that is this size, it's actually a steal. Over 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths upstairs on the 2nd floor. 1st floor is beautiful living area, fireplace, 2 patios, powder room. And then one of the amazing things about this unit is it has private indoor access to the parking. So they're like townhouses. And so you go down the parking, or you go down the stairs inside your unit, and you have a parking area deeded to the unit that is large enough for 4 cars. And I'm not exaggerating. It's amazing. So I did open house last weekend on the holiday weekend, and actually got more traffic than I thought I would. So I've got a lot of interest, but of course, anybody in-house, if you want to see it, it's on Supra. If you have questions for me, just give me a shout. I'm happy to put the link in the chat if you guys want me to. But anyway, it's fabulous and sellers motivated. It's vacant, staged, and ready to sell.
Awesome. Congrats, Kelly. And good to hear your open house went so well.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, and please do put the details in all the chat. So this is a rental from Judy. It's gorgeous, right on the beach in Seal Beach. At first, I had to double check with Sophia this morning because if you look at this picture, I said, wait a second, is this a tiny little lot in Seal Beach that you're selling for 10 grand? If so, take my money.
Right.
Let's clear out our bank accounts. Mike was like, I know it is a lease. It is a lease, but very, very beautiful. Look at that, but look at that beautiful, beautiful little fire pit and everything on the beach. So anyways, moving on. Judy and Elaine have another listing in Lakewood. It's just under 800,000, 3-bed, 1-bath. Congrats, Judy. I love that. Jim Reyes, congrats on your new listing in Long Beach, 700,000, 3-bed, 2-bath. Well, 3-bed, 3-bath is what it looks like, or 2.5. Yeah, just at 7,000. Tony.
Thank you for including this. This is listing as of last Thursday, came on the market last Thursday and had open houses on Saturday and Sunday. Bit of activity for the holiday weekend. It was very nice, but this is a wonderful house that fronts to Little Red Park. So if you're looking for an amazing view, serene backyard, it has been updated and it's at 1.7499, priced out market on the book.
Awesome. Good to hear it went well. Love it. Very
An open
complete.
house Saturday, so come by if you want to see it.
I love it. Or go by for
Buy it.
showing. I love it. Okay, any other listing pitches, buyer needs? Penny is so excited. Penny.
I still have my Rossmore listing. It's a beautiful house. The issue I'm having, I always have an issue, is house next door is not that well kept up. So it's kind of reflecting on my clients. So with that said, they are motivated as they are leaving the country. So don't necessarily look at the price, look at the house and talk to me and let's make a deal or no deal. Then I have another Cerritos listing coming. 5 bedrooms, could be 6, 3 baths, they've done some updating to it, but it needs the rest doing to it. So we're going to price that probably about 1.1-ish. And we should be ready to come to market at the end of the month.
Awesome.
Anyway, will Doritos be?
Cerritos. I love Cerritos. Cerritos loves me.
Is there a bedroom downstairs?
That's not an
Yes.
answer.
Yes,
I'm an agent calling you looking to try
Yes.
to like.
there's a
market.
bedroom downstairs and a bathroom. Yeah.
Where will it be?
I'm not giving the full address at the moment. I'm gonna have to reference it and let you know, Leslie. But it's not far from Harvest.
You want me to have a call?
Sorry? Yes.
Have these call you? Okay.
Yeah.
Please do. I have like 4 flyers.
Okay. Well, almost 2,800.
That's good size.
If
It
you
works,
look,
Penny.
you look back at Harvest, my listing on Harvest, it's exactly the same floor plan, but reversed.
Mm. Good. Who else? Any listings, pitches, buyer needs? Good to hear things moving around. Okay, moving on. Tim, it's your turn.
Hi there. Let me just get set up here. 1 second.
Sounds brilliant. There you are.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. Okay, can you see my screen, Hallie?
I can, Kim. Thank you.
Okay, great. So today I wanted to just take a quick minute and show you how to make sure that all your activity coming from Command is current with your current headshot, your contact info, bio, etc. See, we're super fortunate that Scott Leroy is a big help in entering all your initial information when you first join us. But there may come a time eventually, especially if you're new after the first couple months, that you might want to update your headshot or maybe you've revised your bio and you'd like to add that. And this is how you can do it. So Command houses all your marketing info in what we call the marketing profile. And this populates onto all the public facing marketing vehicles. So that would be your website, your app, any emails that you send, any smart plans that your contacts are signed up for. And also your public facing profile, which if you're not sure what that is, when someone just Googles your name and Keller Williams, a profile will appear that has your picture and your contact info. So all of that information is housed in the marketing profile. So I want to make sure you know how you can update that at any time. So right now I've logged into Command agent.kw.com. And I'm going to come up here to where my name is in the top right corner. I don't know if you can see it well. I know it's probably small. But when I click on the drop down, I'm going to choose settings. And then on the left-hand side, in this menu bar, I'll click on Connect Settings, and there's the marketing profile. So I'm going to click on that. And so as you can see, this is just kind of like an online form full of fields that you can fill in and update. For example, let's look at my my photo here. If I wanted to upload that and change it, I'm going to click on Upload. And add a new one. Okay, skip that. I didn't do that. One tricky thing, but this is good. This is good because you may run into this problem too. So first of all, most of the time in the different vehicles that I talked about that this is populating to, your headshot is in a circle, okay? So the very best way to upload a headshot or a logo, any image, is to make sure you're uploading a square. Because if you're uploading a rectangle or any other shape, it's not going to fit well inside the circle, okay? The other thing about Command is it doesn't want the file to be too large. So that's why it's telling me here, I just grabbed this from my desktop, not knowing, but it does want the image size to be less than 1 MB, okay? Which is an easy fix. Sophia and I can help you with that. It's something you can do in Canva or on your Mac. Okay, so we'll skip over that. Let's just not say that. Your team logo, your name, your designations. And then this is new, military affiliation. This will give you the opportunity to not only choose where the status of your military affiliation, but also the branch here. Now, as of yet, this does not populate on any of the public facing like website or anything. It's not there yet, but where it is where, when I mentioned if someone Googles you and a little profile comes up with your contact info and your picture, it will display there, okay? Your bio, this is where you'd put your bio, all your contact info. You want to make sure your office info is correct. If possibly you've transferred, you want to make sure that's up to date with the brokerage license number. The compliance text, this does not apply to California. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Mine says each office is independently owned and operated. You don't even have to put that. And then your social handles can go here. And you want to make sure you click save at the end. And there's one other thing that you have to make sure that this is toggled on right up here. Now mine is not because I don't have a website, but yours should be toggled on. And if it's looking like this, if it's not toggled on, that means your marketing profile is not populating. So once in a while, I'll get an agent that says, my website isn't showing my picture. And this is the reason for that. Okay. And that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. It's so important that all of our branding, I know you guys are spring cleaning with all that stuff and checking all the links and Googling yourself and your name, which I encourage all of you to do. because it tells you what your digital footprint is, right? You'd be surprised at things that are gonna populate when someone puts your name into Google or puts the word real estate in there, and you just wanna make sure that all of that's clean, and it tells the story about who you are and who your brokerage is. Okay, thanks, Kim. Let me go ahead and reshare my screen, back to these slides. Beautiful, marketing profile. Broker metrics and market stats. Okay, let's go over this. Let's see what the market is telling us. Let me move here out of the way. What's it telling you, Richard? Say it out loud for the class.
Yeah, Richard, say that.
Okay, great. So this is the median price that we're seeing right now here for Long Beach active. Remember, median is the middle. It is not the average. Median price we're seeing is 530 right now. We've seen more condos and things like that hitting the market for these first-time home sellers, is what I'm going to call them, first-time home sellers. So a lot of that lower price now, they're moving up now that we've seen a little bit of break in the interest rates. So I think definitely in Long Beach, the active you're seeing there. Yeah, because look, March 2022, the median was 749,000. Right? And right now we're down to, we've got about a $50,000 median price change. Okay. Moving on, Long Beach under contract. We did have a percentage change here as well, a little less under contract. We know that sales aren't quite as high. We know that purchase prices have come down over the last year. So that's what we're seeing under contract. We saw a 9% down change, but sold is up from last year here in March. So what is that telling us? What's that telling us? There's more people in the marketplace. There's more people in the marketplace. We are seeing more inventory. We're seeing more listings come onto the market. Would you agree or disagree that last year, March 2022, we didn't have as much inventory, right? Still very tight, but we're seeing a little bit of this loosening here on the market. More listings, more coming soon here in Long Beach. Again, this is the sold. Plus the median price has increased, which is interesting on the solds. So that's good to see. Seal Beach active. We did see a small change. We also know that the leisure world throws off the total price point when it comes to average price and active. Especially in the single family homes, very rare right now to see a listing in Seal Beach that sits longer than 48 hours, to be honest with you. You guys work that area, but there was just a 7% change down from last year. Another up-to-date month. Under contracts, again, we saw a little bit of that change. That's 5%. That's on average. When you think, well, we went down 7% in the total prices, it would make sense that we went down about that same in our under contract, right? But good news is that's not a drastic change for what's being sold and what's under contract. You're not seeing a big jump there. But again, our solds are way up. That's good. This is telling us it's good right now. Let's start riding this wave on through the next couple months. Things are up from last year. Lakewood active. There really is no change. Funny thing, from last year, the median price was $7.99. This month it was $7.99. That's wacky. But you can see slightly over Lakewood, you did see up, down, a little bit of change, but it is literally right where it was. Granted, there was less total sales. Okay, we had 127 and we had 71 this last month. March. Lakewood under contract, 800. Yeah, it went down about 3.6% under contract with the median price change. Lakewood sold. It's down 10%. Don't let the little green arrow fool you. No idea why it's green, but it is green going down. But yeah, we did see a 10% change with the median price. And I think that's, it's important. What does that tell us? The median price has gone down. What does that tell us? Maybe people aren't listing realistically. Maybe still thinking that that's wrong. Clearly the stuff is selling because we know by the other stats it's selling, right? So think about this. Figure out how you can use this data to help tell this story. Speaking of telling the story, just moving on, Keller Williams just released very cool new designs for your updates and your market stats. They look super clean. So when we're going over these market stats for the team meeting, if you're pulling, I'm getting who gets Altos reports? Does everyone get the Altos reports from our awesome Pacific Coastline Escrow? Great. Take that info and use these designs, create them, post them, and tell that story. Remember, we are the economist of choice. So if we don't promote the economy, how are they gonna know to come to us to ask a question? Right? So yeah, go into Command Designs. If you need any help designing this, figuring this out, let us know, reach out to myself, Sophia, we can help you create this. Again, this could be something that's done so easy every week when you get your Altos reports. Okay, next up. Let's bring up our affiliate partners. Doug, why don't you come here? Hi, Sarah's in the back. Come on up here, you guys. Doug, what do you have for us today?
I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about the flyer that we have out for lead capture and lead nurturing. I know that a lot of times people are looking for getting new leads and new ways to get new leads. There's a flyer out there. It's called Percy. What's kind of nice about what it does for you is it allows you to provide information for your clients, like 3 separate AVMs are automatically on and updated every month. There's also the comps in the area, which also show the comps from like all recorded comps. So it's going to show things that may not be in the MLS as well, to like builder stuff, or for instance, some off market stuff is those stuff like that. So it's got a lot of really cool, easy ways to use it. One, you can use the link on your email. So if you guys have probably seen that, people pour the link on the email, goes right to it. People can sign up for the automated AVM. You can use the QR code, right? So you're at a party, you're talking to people, and you're networking. Hey, they want your card. Oh, just click here, put your information right there. They get the AVMs or capture their information. You could also use it with your SOI. So if you've got more than 25 names, they'll upload it into the system for you. And then all your clients will get an email with the information on it. They can opt in, they can not opt in if they want to. What's great about it, as people use it, a lot of times people don't put in they're not going to put their phone number, they're not going to put their email in there, right? So if they don't, it's going to at least give you the address. So it's kind of like a partially, but you're getting the address. So now you can go out, drop off an AVM or something like that. You can use it on your website as a widget. You guys know what that is? Little place on here. You can use that with it. And then also you can, like I said, you can use the QR codes. Lots of great uses for it. One of our agents is really successful with it as an open house registration tool. When the people come in, they want to offer them something of value. They sign up for it. Grabs the information. It's a great tool. So it's out there. If you guys want to help with that, let us know. Mike Miller's here with you on the team. I know he comes by from time to time. I'll be glad to help you with that as well too.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug. I think it's Sarah next, actually.
Oh,
Haha, Sarah.
Hey, Jack.
Hi.
Just a couple of things. I do have a class at the end of the month, so please feel free to come. Escrow 101. I can open it up if you guys have escrow questions, make it kind of like a forum. If you have mentees or just need a refresher, I mean, things change in escrow all the time. There are things that come up that haven't come up before, things that come across your transactions that you've never seen. So we can talk about that. Please feel free to come reach out to me, come to my class. I just want to make sure too, agents know when changes in your contract happen, you know to do an addendum, right? I just want to make sure, because I have a lot of agents that will just email me, this has changed, this is different. But I need an instruction. Escrow does everything by written instruction. So when you have these changes and things that are different from what's in the purchase agreement, you need to make sure to do an addendum, make sure that I know both sides have agreed, and then I draw an amendment. Just to make sure that that's out there. It seems to happen a lot. So I just want to hopefully get that out there to realtors that they know. Changes in terms, addendums.
Are you singling me out?
No. But you know, the lender. And I thought that was so funny. 2 realtors, 2 CPs. Sent it to me fully executed and it was stated yesterday. But I got it. So just keep that in mind. So at least it's done. But yeah. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And I am in a particular bit.
No, not singling anyone else.
I've been hearing a particular bit of escrow stories that are not our escrow, but other escrows outside there. When you guys go to rate offers on the buy side, I know that lots of times the sellers want to use their escrow of choice. But it's so important you establish that relationship with Sarah, even if something goes wrong in another escrow, she's still there to just talk through solutions and problems.
Anytime.
Yeah, I just heard of a scary one, so it is what it is. They didn't use because it wasn't you. And that was literally my response, but anyways, thanks, Sarah. I love it. Mike, what do you have for us today?
Well, let's talk a little bit about interest rates and what they've been doing since Friday of last week. They've been climbing up just a little bit, mainly because they're in a defensive position because tomorrow is the next CPI report, the big inflation report that comes out that sets the tone for the next coming month for interest rates. So all eyes are on tomorrow's CPI report. And also just would love to listen. Piece of our heart. It is gone. Yeah, it I don't believe lasted 2 weeks. But it was a great program for the time that it was actually active. So just a quick note on down payment assistance programs. Typically, just as a general rule, if they're really awesome, a lot of times they're only available for a short period of time. And then the other ones have more aspects that go into qualifications. And on that note, Alex Skur actually has a class on April 20th.
They're not, he had to reschedule it. Yeah, no, he had to reschedule because the speaker.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm sure that he's going to get that speaker to come back another time because it's a lender that is well known for doing those down payment assistance programs. So just remember that you're going to continue to get a lot of conversations from clients about down payment assistance loans. There's a lot that goes into it. And so just continue to try and get those clients over to a lender to talk through the details, because there is a lot of things that you have to know about them. Not necessarily agents, you guys don't have to know all the ins and outs, but remember that you always have your lenders to lean on specifically for that. And that's basically about it for what I have to say today, but check in with your preferred lenders tomorrow. I would say probably early afternoon to get an idea on which direction interest rates are going, because like I said, that's setting the tone for this next coming month. Last month's CPI report came out and we had actually a pretty decent one with interest rates coming down. So all eyes on tomorrow, and that's about it.
Great, thank you, Mike. And just to be clear, if anyone has a question about this, the program was paused because the funds ran out. Okay, so as people ask you and talk to you about it, even though we joke that it died, it technically paused. Yes, so.
What is the
Yeah, so the Dream for All program was a Cal HFA program where first-time home buyers can basically get a 20,000 up to 20, no, up to 20%. I'm sorry, up to 20% of their down payment given to them by this program, right? So again, in layman's terms, it was like thousands of people all of a sudden got free money for a week, basically.
Yeah.
Low cost. Let me not use the word free. Low cost.
So-
So they still have to pay for it.
They actually have to pay that back. So it's
That's what I'm
technically a
saying. Yeah.
loan. It's technically a loan. So it's basically if somebody gives you a loan for your down payment that you don't have to pay back until you refinance or sell the home.
Yeah.
A lot of down payment assistance programs are structured like that. So between the different programs, you'll see just similar features. And so even though this one was actually really great, specifically because it was up to 20%, and that's a really big chunk. But that's unfortunately why sometimes the better programs like this one just kind of go away right away. In a short period of time. And also on the note of it being paused, the money has been committed to because of locks that have happened. And then as far as when they're going to come back around with additional funding, certainly talk to Alex if you want more details on it. But from what I've been hearing is the source of where that money is going to come back from is when people actually sell that home or refinance and pay that off. So it's supposed to be a self-sustaining program. So as the shared appreciation feature kicks in, that fund should continually grow, but just keep in mind, it's gonna probably take some time to grow.
Perfect, thank you, Mike. Richard, ALC Spotlight, look at this mug. Come stand up here. You're so excited. Yay. Richard, what do you got for us today?
You have to talk for 2 minutes, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, get to. Get to talk.
We can't hear you back here.
What do you got for us today?
I'll first ask that Drake leave the room. No, seriously. Okay, so this is just a did you know section. I don't have anything important to talk about, so this is a did you know section as far as farming is concerned. In North Long Beach, zip code 90805, by December 2025, I plan on being the premier agent in that entire zip code, right?
Love it.
So there are certain things that I do to ensure that happens, and this is one of the things that I do. And it's a did you know, because a lot of people don't know that you can go this far with Facebook in your farm. Everybody knows that you can upload your Facebook, your farm into Facebook to use other sources when you're posting things. But beyond that, did you know that most neighborhoods have a neighborhood Facebook page? For example, mine is, well, not mine, but that one is the Uptown News. So I log into that and I post. But some of them, they don't let you get away with posting things that have to do with your business. So I start by tricking it a little bit. So the first thing I do is I just join as a regular person, and then I comment and say, oh yes, and all this stuff, and right, make it all good. And then eventually I start posting things that are already posted regarding North Long Beach. So I'll take that and I'll copy it and I'll put it in my post and post it that way. So after a while of posting on my own, then I start adding my tagline to it. And the tag being Richard Sperling, KW Coastal, Realtor, DRE number, phone number. So down below my post, I start adding that in.
Well, at least you're in compliance.
And I should have said, Sonia, did you leave the room? So then I sneak that in and they kind of, but you know, all of them have administrators, right? So they can delete what you post. So I sneak that in and they kind of miss it. So I just still go and post in regular stuff. And then later on is when I kind of slide in things like sales in the area. Oh, by the way, did you know that there was a sale next door? And I'll put the information in there for that, just kind of slide that in so it doesn't look like advertising. So then after I do that, then there's every district has a council person. So I sign up for the council person's website and I get all the information from that council person and I take it off of their information from their newsletter and put it into my Facebook. Like, oh, now I'm doing a service for North Long Beach, right? So now they're seeing all of the things that I'm doing, telling them like go to Michelle Obama Library and help your kids read and all stuff for teens and all kinds of stuff like that. But I'm getting it right out of the 9th District newsletter. So then,
2 minutes.
shoot.
Sorry.
But thank you guys. No. So then after that, I see one thing, that function that's going on with the person that's actually the admin. So I go to the admin function and I talk to the admin. His name is Dan Pressberg, and I cozy up with him and I say, oh yeah, you know me and you see my stuff. Oh yeah, I know you. And yeah, is it okay that I'm posting this stuff on there? Because sometimes I have to post some stuff about real estate. He said, no, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. So now I got his okay to post whatever the heck I want to on there. So now I do that. I post my newsletter, I post my sales, I post all kinds of stuff regarding my business on there. And I get a lot of responses from that. Some of them are bad. I've been called a lot of stuff, but
Sorry.
no, I know what you And then, so that's just an idea of what to post on there that, you know, it's still in kind of in compliance, but since I have the admins okay, I'm good to go. And by the way, I cozied up to the 9th district person who now likes my stuff. Oh, one other thing I did, and I posted something that comes from the mayor. And no, he posted on there, then I'll go and I commented. So recently he said, I'm doing these commissions, come join these commissions. So I commented and said, oh, this is a good thing. I love it. I'm going to sign up for a commission and all that kind of stuff. Somebody comes back and said something really bad to me. And then the mayor's office came back and commented on it, said, good job, and then liked it. So now I got the mayor's office that liked my post and commented on my post. And I won't go any further. There's a lot of other stuff in there, but that's about it.
I love it. Thank you, Richard. You know, it was so, like, I know there were so many layers to that, but I think we have to think about growing our sphere tactically. Like, we think sometimes in a farm, we can just drop some flyers and then just business somehow magically comes to us. But when we break things down to like a minute level, like Richard was talking about strategically and getting to know someone and then doing this and then tricking the algorithm, it's like, that's when we're being tactical. That's when we're really building our business with a purpose. That's the difference between just throwing dartboards or throwing darts at a dartboard and specifically taking your time and measuring up exactly where you're going to throw it. You know, I think that's important. I love that. Very thoughtful. Leslie.
So I had one comment regarding what you're talking about, in relation to the egg hunt that I did. I sent an email to everybody who signed up, and I basically asked, if you happen to capture photos and videos throughout the day and you post those to share, if you wouldn't mind including me so that I too could share them. I explained that my business is built strictly on a relationship basis, through events and through my relations. And so that's why all those posts happen, because I didn't know these people, right? It's my farm, but I didn't know any of them except for one family. And so everybody posted, they were sending me their picture. It was in our neighborhood watch chat as well. They were posting pictures talking about it there. And then they went out, and I have 10 new followers now because they went out to go look for me on my social media that I had linked in the email and then posted those photos and tagged me. So again, it is about doing that, right? So now I've created this thing where they know I'm not just out looking for business, but I do this to build relationships. So
I love that. Very cool. Thank you, Leslie, for adding. And thank you, Richard. That was a pretty good one. And some of those things I didn't know. Simon. I know.
Oh, by the way.
You said 2024, 2025.
2025, December 2025.
Okay, so December 2025, everyone. We have to hold Richard accountable.
And by the way, I heard that there was another agent in my farm knocking on doors and there was a drive-by on him. Just.
Simon, what do you have for us?
Good afternoon. How's everyone? It feels a little odd, a little weird to have the team meetings in the afternoon. I gotta get.
Well, it's nice to be back in this physical room though, right?
Yes.
Who does not miss that green carpet? I don't miss it.
Absolutely. Can I share something on the internet real quick?
Yeah.
Do you have access to PWR?
Yep, go ahead, start talking, it's gonna take a minute.
Okay, can you log into your account?
Mhm.
Most of you are Pacific West Association of Realtors. So earlier, we were talking about stats. So there's a cool feature that you can actually use as part of your listing presentation when you log into your PWR MLS.
It's been funky today, I don't know if anyone else has had problems with PWR, but we're trying on 3 different computers, so just FYI.
The other day it's been.
Yeah,
Really?
it's been really bad.
I know.
So we'll
the
see,
weekend
Simon.
It's not coming up.
No,
Hmm.
I know, isn't that weird?
They've been having like issues with logins and people have been complaining, so they're like working on it.
Yeah,
I jumped on.
what is it that you had to share?
I'm not.
Yeah,
Or do you want, yep, see, it's just not loading. So maybe it's a computer.
because it is coming up.
It's on my.
Do you want to share, can I do a computer? Can we just share a screen?
Yeah.
Great.
Can you help me with that?
Okay, you can start talking and then I'll pull it up.
So one of the cool features is there's certain cities that you can actually pull stats. It'll give you not just single family residence, but it'll also give you townhome and condominiums. It'll tell you, from last month, how many properties were active, pending, and closed. So it's a great little segue to put on part of your listing presentation or understand the market. As Holly was saying, the importance of the local economist, right? Knowing your area. Now, the cool thing is it's here in the city of Long Beach. So if you're focused in Long Beach, it definitely helps you provide that initiative and ultimately the value proposition that we all have as professionals. So that was one segue. Really now I'm going to switch my hats into the compliance as a broker. So everyone knows that once you get a listing executed by the seller, how many days after the execution of the listing do you have to input it on the MLS? 2 days. Okay, anyone else?
3 days.
1 day. Okay. 1 day. It's actually 72 hours. So from the time of listing, getting the listing agreement, you have 72 hours. Were you able to?
Just keep talking, it's
Okay.
trying to make it happen.
So you have 72 hours from getting the listing signed by all parties that are the owners. You have to put it on the MLS. If you don't do that, then you're out of compliance. And if the CRMLS finds out, it's a violation. And it's not cheap. Okay. So one, I urge you and I encourage you to please, as soon as you get the listing, you input it into the MLS. Now, with that being said, I'm getting a lot of questions. What if we need the time frame, right, to put it on the market? Maybe the seller is decluttering the home. Maybe the seller wants to stage the home. Maybe there's some renovations being done, but I want to secure the listing, right? Have you been in that situation? Yeah, most of us have, right? So what do we do to be in compliance? Well, there's a form on ZIP called SELM. What does that stand for? Seller excluding the listing from the multiple listing service. That's the form that you need to ultimately get signed and executed to provide you the incentive that's going to be in violations of the MLS. Okay. The reason I'm bringing that up is we're getting a lot of agents, not coastal, but I'm hearing a lot of agents getting themselves in a pickle. And now you got to provide the listing. And if there is a discrepancy, too bad, you're going to end up paying a fine. Okay. Imagine this, right? And I know it happens here in Los Angeles just as much as in Los Angeles. How many times have you got a parking ticket and it may be $25, but it's a parking ticket and you're annoyed by it, right? Well, it's annoying to get something from the MLS. We're already paying a lot of money to be members of that. We don't need that extra fee, right? So I urge you to make sure that you are, thank you, that you are utilizing this form right here, SELM, seller instructions to include the listing from the multiple listing service in days on market. Now there's a couple options. Yes, Leslie.
So when we fill out the SDLM, like does that waive the 72 hours of the MLS?
Correct. Absolutely. That gives you the time needed, right? You also have the option to do what's called coming soon, right? And coming soon is you put it on the MLS, but you're notifying the MLS that this is the property that is coming soon. Now, the time frame that it allows you is 21 days. Once you put it on coming soon, it doesn't stop. Okay. So if you think by putting on hold, you have those extra days. Let's say you put it in 10 days and then you think I have another 10 days now. Once you put it on coming soon, it's going to go. And if you wait till the 21 days, then it automatically puts it as an active listing. Now, I get a lot of questions. Can I go ahead and modify that and put it active even before the 21 days? The answer is yes, you can. If you want to put it in 5 days after you put it coming soon, 10 days after coming soon, that's perfectly fine. But once you use it, that's it. You use it, and now you either have to put it on active, hold, and then obviously negotiations, active under contract. Yes, Richard.
But you still have to register it when you put it in coming soon, so you still have to do text orders.
Correct.
So why not just this?
That's correct. This form allows you additional time, as you see on section D right here, right?
Mhm.
Section D, 1, 2, and 3, it says for a period of, you can put calendar days. You can put until a specific date, or you can put during the entire list. Let's say that you have a seller that does not want it on the MLS.
Mhm.
Then you're gonna check that off, and that's putting you in compliance with MLS, and you never have to put it on the MLS. Make sense?
I think it's also having your client be on the same page, right? When you
100%.
take a listing and they're going, oh, wow, they're gonna start selling it after I've signed all this paperwork. You're literally disclosing to them to say, I'm not doing that at this point, right? I'm not publicly marketing your listing. So no seller can come back and say, well, my home didn't sell for the price because you didn't spend the last month marketing my property, right? It allows you to be able to make sure that you're on the same page as that client. Simon, I don't know if I missed it, if you said earlier, but there's two forms. There's one at the local association level and then this one. Do you prefer one over the other as a broker?
I personally prefer Zip. My honest opinion, but CRMLS also has their own exclusion list. I'd rather use, but it doesn't matter either, or we're perfectly fine to submit to CRMLS if you need that extra time to put it in the MLS. Any questions regarding the exclusion list? Yes.
All right, so on the SCLM, let's just say that you had a listing that you excluded from the MLS until March 30th. But it wasn't ready to get on the market right after that, and we had that SCLM signed. So on March 30th, or on April 1st or April 31st, can you put it just as coming soon then, until you're ready?
Yes, you can. So what you need to do is, if you're going to need that extra time or put it as coming soon, you need to have what's called an MT form, the modification of terms.
Okay.
Okay, just let's say that you do have a specific date that you're going to put it active, but seller says, you know what, we still need another week or so. So how you effectively use this to be in compliance, you need to do a modification of terms.
Okay,
And
and
it-
just not do the coming soon.
Correct.
Need the-
So you have those
Yes, something on
options,
top of that.
but one of the options is if you need that buffer, then you do a modification of terms, and that allows you to extend the time frame. And then you're gonna update the information on the seller, send that over to CRM.
Okay, and so, then that would take you to the actual active date.
Not if you use coming soon.
Okay.
Just remember, you have that one opportunity to use it, because once you use it as, you put it as coming soon, that's it. That listing will not be able to do it twice.
Yeah.
Only if you cancel it, and then it'll reset the system in the near future, that you can use that as a coming soon, is what my understanding of CRMLS. Okay.
Awesome.
That's what I.
Good question.
Can you go to my, is this my MLS or my zip forms?
Yeah.
Let me just show you what I wanted to talk.
Mhm.
This is my here, right?
Mhm.
I
Oh,
promise.
Kelly, you raised your hand. Do you have a question while Simon's bringing it up?
Hi, yes, I do. That'll be faster than me typing it into the chat. I had to step away to grab a call right as Simon was doing this. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to know if he addressed or answered the question of on the listing agreement, there's a place that says when the listing will hit the market. If that date is filled in, do you still need the SELM?
Run that question by me again.
On the listing agreement,
Uh-huh.
where there's that section on the listing agreement that says this listing will hit the market on blank date.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you still need the SELM if that part is filled out on the listing agreement?
No. So on the first page of that's a great question. Thank you. Who said that?
I
Kelly.
did, Kelly.
Ellie, you're awesome. All right, so on the listing agreement, there's a section, because ultimately we want to secure the listing as fast as possible, right? You meet with the client, you want them to execute it. Now, there's a section on the listing agreement that says beginning date and expiration date. Okay, so if you're going to use that list, let's say that the seller says, I don't want to list the property, I don't want to put it on the market till 2 weeks from today. Then that allows you the future date, and you're going to put the future date as the beginning date and the expiration. Let's say it's a 6 month. Then that allows you not to worry about having the seller excluding it from the MLS, because you already put a future date. Even though you're executing it today, the beginning date is the date that you will put it on the MLS. Once that goes, then you will need to have the seller excluding it from the MLS. If that date is coming to that, coming soon to that specific time frame, then you're gonna need the seller excluding it from the MLS. So I hope that kind of clears that.
Actually, that was helpful, but there's another spot on the listing agreement. It's on page like 2 or 3.
Okay,
It's actually, it's right after the section that talks about clear cooperation and all of that. And there's a, down at the bottom of the page, there's a place.
all right, so what I'll do is I'll circle back with you so I can be more specific on that question with you.
Okay.
Honestly, I was gonna suggest, honestly, might I suggest that this be an upcoming class, that we
That's
talk
right.
about exclusions, when to exclude, who to sign, who doesn't sign,
Yeah,
what
'cause we
forms to use, because I think we can go on and on about this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have a class that was started 2 minutes ago.
Okay,
So.
real quick, I promise you this will be it. So part of PWR, it allows you to have these reports. So here, if you go to local market updates, you just plug in the city and then you say, I want March. And let's say the city of Long Beach. You click on that and what it does, it populates this form for
This
you.
is a great one.
Okay, super convenient. It talks about the stats of the city, new listings pending, closed, days on market, medium price point, average price point, and it gives you from last year's and then this year's. And it
Very
also
good.
provides you with condos and townhomes. So it's a great report to have as part of your listing presentation.
I
So,
love it.
all right.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank
Good question,
you.
guys. Like I said, let's make that class. We can talk about it, break it down, and kind of go from there. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, great. Let me share my screen again. I don't know what is going on with this computer today or the internet. Okay, there we go. Going back to it, let's review what we have on the calendar coming up. Let me start back where we left off. Cool, let's just go over the training and events. We have some Keller Williams trainings that are coming up, Keller Williams International. Make sure you guys check out the Facebook page. We will be promoting them there. We have like new homes info session, KW commercial meeting, real estate planners. Lots of that's coming up this next month. Lead syndicate launch, just a reminder that's happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you're an established agent in this business and looking for a little bit of leverage on the back end to help generate more leads out of what you have, if you're not great at systems, come and make sure you ask lots of questions. I'm excited to have Nikki on for that. Red Day, I'm really excited. This is just coming together. We do have a start time. Again, to remind you, Red Day is our day that we pause everything that we're doing and we give back to our community in service. And man, is it going to be a fun physical one. So we're going to start at 9 a.m. We're going to be helping build an organic garden here for Long Beach Organic that's going to help our community. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more details. We are going to have a sign up sheet that you guys are going to have to fill out that Google form and let us know who you're coming, whether you're a builder or a planter, a gardener. We're going to have 2 different groups. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a builder, but I'm probably going to figure out how to build. So it's going to be fun. Lunch and Learn is happening now. Lauren, I think you're on there, Lauren. If I know we're going to be starting here in just a minute. We are bringing lunch. Lauren did send lunch in as well. So that's going to be happening. If you guys have questions about KW Concierge, that's partnered with Zoom Casa. I know Janet just had a beautiful listing. If you guys saw any of those photos, the before and afters were shocking. Go to her Facebook page and you can take a look at it. Lauren, we're happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. So I'm going to keep it short. That way we can get on with your class. Mike Lewis Marketing Suite, that's happening this Thursday. I don't know if you know, we have a whole marketing team behind you with many resources that are available at low cost, sponsored costs for you and the market center. Make sure you show up here 12 p.m. It is going to be in person. So you're going to get to meet Mike Lewis in person. So it's going to be great. KW Mastermind, that's happening on Friday. It's going to talk about pre-listing content and strategy. A lot of people recently have asked me, what do you put in a pre-listing package? What do you drop off before? And let me tell you, I want to know what Allison Bedwig is dropping off. I want to know what these awesome South Bay, Aaron's a big agent, very, very well established. So I'm excited to hear what they think. Monthly family hike on Sunday. Join us at the Hermosa Pier. Hopefully we have great weather. Our Keller Williams Real Estate Live meetings happening on Monday with many, featuring Drake. I see his mug up there again. Understanding the DISC assessment. If you're not familiar with the DISC assessment is, it's a communication assessment that we can use to better communicate with our clients and be able to learn how we like to communicate. It's probably going to help your relationships with your partners and your business. So make sure you guys come. Tech date night that's happening Tuesday. Again, just to clarify what exactly it is, it's going to be, I think, 6 or 7 presenters throughout the office, where they're going to give about a 10 to 15 minute presentation of a special tech tool or system, and you get to literally speed date them. So you get to spend 10 minutes, bell rings, and you move on to the next person. So you're going to have the opportunity to learn from 6 different people that night. It's going to be fun. First time we've ever done an event like this here at the office. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you RSVP to the front. Okay. NHD, if you're a new agent, don't know what NHD is, make sure you join Lena at the end of the month. Just a reminder, I know we talked about it earlier, but the down payment assistance program is postponed because of the speaker. So we're going to have that at an soon to be date. Join us for Wind Down April 21st. We'll have a little bit of drinks here at the office. Someone's having a birthday, I heard. And Core Mastermind happening, Life of an Escrow, Sarah talked about. Find your target audience. This is going to be a great class. Michael Hawley with his media company. He also does videos, drone photos, lots of social media interaction. And CRMLS Marketing Solutions. If you're a new agent, do not miss this CRMLS class. We're going to show you how to search for things. They're going to teach you all the special tools and tricks and how to maneuver your main page, right? Right when you first log in, and we're done. Cool. Thank you, guys. So, we're going to shift from the team meeting into the Zoom Casa Lunch and Learn since Lauren's on here. Kim, I believe it's the same link, correct?
Yes, it is. We're going to stay right here.
Great, so I'm just gonna keep this open. We'll give everyone just a minute to shift, and then we'll focus back up and give Lauren here the stage, okay? Of course. Good to see you.
Lauren, you can turn on your camera so I can spotlight you. Oh, there you go. Halley, you just let us know when people are settled.
Okay, Lauren, why don't you go ahead and start? I know there's a lot of background noise, you guys. Why don't you go ahead and get started, my dear?
Okay, sounds good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lauren McCarroll. I'm one of the account executives here at Zoom Casa. As some of you may know, we power the KW Concierge program. So thank you so much for your time. I hope that you're enjoying lunch and it was delivered successfully. I was a little nervous about that, but I'm just going to take a moment to speak about a couple of programs that we have that have been super beneficial and helpful for agents in providing solutions to your clients. So this is our team. On the left is my CEO, Fred Ben. There's me in the middle. And if you have any projects in the Southern California area, you will more than likely be working with Scott Pastorius. He's our local project manager. He's phenomenal. So this is just a quick introduction to our team and what we strive to do. So Zoom Casa's goal is to help KW Concierge provide solutions to your clients, no matter where they are in the home ownership lifecycle. That means whether you have clients who are looking to sell, looking to buy, or looking to buy before they sell, we kind of have a solution for each scenario. So to briefly speak a little bit about what I've been hearing, feedback directly from sellers and from my agents. What are sellers looking for in today's market? Can anybody tell me? Maybe you've heard something differently. Anyone? Don't talk all at once.
Sorry, what? We muted. Can you say it again?
What are sellers looking for in today's market?
Money.
Money. Yeah, absolutely. Money, certainty, consistency, convenience. So sellers want to be able to know that they can sell on their own time, but also be able to purchase on their own time too. How many agents have had a seller be under contract for the new purchase, but then the buyer for the current home couldn't perform? Has that ever happened? And we know that that's devastating and the whole deal falls apart. So with Zoom Casa and the KW Concierge program, we have a solution for those type of scenarios. And that brings us to our Forward program, which is also known as Buy Before You Sell. And it works in 2 transactions. So in the first transaction, Zoom Casa would purchase your client's current home for up to 70% of the appraised value in the first transaction. That way they're able to pay off their existing mortgage balance, improve their DTI, qualify for a new loan, and then be able to have enough cash to put a down payment on the new purchase as well. And once they're out of the home, we either immediately relist the property with you, or we'll take the time to bring in our vendors and do any minor or major renovations to the property, specifically to increase the value before it hits the market. And either way, once it sells on the open market, that's when your seller gets the remaining proceeds minus your agent's commission, closing costs, our program fee, and the costs if any work has been done. So if you have a property that you know needs a lot of work, maybe deferred maintenance, or just generally needs to be updated, but the client does not want to be in the home through those renovations because they're invasive, we'll come in, allow them to be out of the property through the renovations. We'll cover the cost of the renovations up front, and we're later reimbursed once it sells on the open market. And we also have a full support team. We have a project manager, vendors, designers to oversee that process from start to finish. So they're able to increase the value of their home without having to deal with the hassle of it. And then we just wire them the remaining proceeds once the property sells on the open market. So I know that's a lot of information. So I do have an example of how the numbers work. So for example, this particular property, we're going to assume that it appraised as is for $850,000. We come in and purchase the property for 70% of that, which is $595,000. They have an outstanding mortgage payoff of $331,000. So in the first transaction, when we take title, they have enough funds from the equity in their home to pay off that existing mortgage balance, closing costs, and then they still have a nice chunk to put down towards the down payment of the new purchase. Then we didn't do any work, we just immediately relist it with you. And once it sells on the open market, I got ahead of myself. Once it sells on the open market, that's when they get the remaining proceeds. So I do have a success story for when Forward worked. It can work for estate sales if you have divorcing couples who are looking to move out of state, which was this particular property in Torrance. They were an elderly couple. They had great equity in their home, but they were looking to move to Texas. And they knew that the property could sell as is, but they knew that it would sell for much more thanks to their agent if they put a little bit of work into it. They were also very nervous about securing the new purchase in Texas and having nowhere to go if the property sold on the open market. So that's when KW Concierge came in. We came in, we purchased the property for 70% of the appraised value, which is how we got the $975,000. They paid closing costs, a very minimum mortgage payoff, and they were actually able to make a non-contingent cash offer on the home of their dreams in Texas with the proceeds from the first transaction. So as that's happening, we close, they move at their own pace, and then we bring in our team of vetted vendors and our project manager, Scott, he oversaw the entire process. And ultimately the property sold for $1.4 million. So they were in Texas throughout all the renovations, the open houses, the marketing of the property. And once the sale closed, we just wired them the remaining proceeds. Are there any questions about the Forward program thus far? Sure.
All right, so the 3 to 5% fee that the concierge charges, is that on the amount of renovations you're doing, that cost, or is it based on the sales price from the first sale or the second sale?
That's a great question. So our program fee is going to be based on the final sale price when it sells to the ultimate buyer.
Okay, then my second question is, when you're doing, when you're buying the 70% value and doing that first transaction, so the homeowners can cash out and take off, what is the timeline of that? How long is that escrow?
That's a great question. So we're actually flexible. If you have sellers that need us to close quickly, we can close in about 15 to 21 days from the signing of the contract. And that window is just based on how quickly we get the appraisal report back. Or if you have sellers that haven't identified the new purchase yet, we'll honor the appraisal for up to 6 months. So for 6 months, they have a contract that says that their sale of home contingency has been lifted. They can show that they have an estimated net sheet and that they have a buyer that's just waiting on them to pull the trigger, and they can call us up and let us know when they want us to close.
So I have a question. You said you buy the first transaction, you buy it at 70%, and then you renovate and sell it at a higher product.
Yeah.
Will you give the difference?
No.
No? So you get to keep the 30% plus whatever the price after you sell it.
Right. So when you say you mean the seller? Yes. Outside of our program fee, we don't take anything above that. If this property sells for more, which we're hoping is the case, the seller gets the upside.
So can you run a number to give me an example? Because it's very confusing, like the way you are explaining it to it. Like you buy at 70%.
Yes.
And then you sell it at so with the number, I think it'll make more sense to me. Like, for example, like the property is like appraised for 1 million, buy it at 700. And that's it. That's the amount they will get, the sellers.
No. So keep in mind that there's a second sale. So we purchased it for actually $1 million. It's going to be listed as a 30% buyer's credit because we don't want to affect the comps. But let's say that it ultimately sells for $1 million because we didn't do any work to it on the open market. From that $1 million, we first subtract the $700,000, which is what we initially paid for it. We take your commission, closing costs, and then our program fee. And then after that, the seller gets the rest, which should still be close to about $170,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they don't lose it.
No, they don't lose it. We're the opposite of iBuyers. We're actually partnering with you and your clients to make sure that they maximize their proceeds.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Does the agent get to sell the finished product?
Yes, absolutely. It's in our addendum. We signed the listing agreement with you the next day after the transaction closes, unless there's work being done. Are there any more questions about Forward? Sorry, I lost my screen. One moment. Okay, we're back. Great. So that's Forward, and that can be a standalone program. But we also have what you're probably most familiar with, which is our pre-sale home prep. And so past performance has shown that homes prepared by KW Concierge increase in value by 6.4%, and they spend half the time on days on market as homes not prepared. So with pre-sale home prep, I know you're wondering, what can we do? What can't we do? So these are just a few things, minor or major renovations. We can do anything as minimal as staging and deep cleaning, pool repair, landscaping, termite remediation. We can facilitate an estate sale. If the client's going to be displaced for a while, we can, set up an Airbnb or a hotel stay and still wrap up those costs. So with pre-sale home prep, we're covering all of the costs up front, so your client's not spending $1 out of pocket, and then we're later reimbursed at the closing of escrow. So you get a listing, you think it's a beautiful, home, great location, but it could use a fresh coat of paint, new carpet, new floor, new cabinet, what have you. The seller doesn't want to put any money into the property. They're like, I just want to, sell it as is. You can provide another option for them. You submit the listing to us. It goes through a brief underwriting process. We just pull title to make sure there aren't too many outstanding liens against the property. And then once it's approved for pay upon closing, it's assigned to one of our project managers. They contact you directly to discuss the scope of work. From there, once everyone's on the same page, they begin to get the bids from the vendors. So we do have a platform of licensed, vetted, and insured vendors. However, if you have a preferred painter or electrician, plumber, we'll gladly work with them as long as they're licensed and insured. So once the project manager has all of the bids, they'll present a proposal to your client. It'll be completely itemized with the service and the cost, and your client can kind of pick and choose what they want to do. They can agree to all, they can agree to none. Still at that point, there's no cost to the client. But if the client signs off and elects to move forward, then work can get started. And the beauty of our program, and I think what separates us from other programs on the market, is that we are all encompassing. So your project manager is going to oversee everything from start to finish. That way you're not tracking down vendors, trying to schedule them, pay them, etc. And then we cover all of the costs, as I mentioned, upfront per their pay schedule, and we're later reimbursed upon the closing of escrow. So I do have some recent before and after pictures. On the left, you can clearly see before, nice sized kitchen, just needs a little work. And then this is the after. And this is also the same property that we did the forward deal with. So this is Grant Avenue. Just much brighter, lighter. And this is my contact information. I'm your account executive. So this is my email address, my direct phone number. You can call or text me on that line. I know this is a lot of information. So I do agent trainings. They're typically 10 to 15 minutes on Zoom. You can always have access to my calendar. Also, if ever you have a listing that you think may be a good fit for either programs, but you're not sure, just please feel free to give me a call and we'll talk through it. If we need to jump on a Zoom with the client, we can do that as well. Are there any questions about pre-sale home prep?
Yeah. Sorry. The pre-sale home prep, we can use your concierge, you contract through all the contractors that we go to your contractors, right? But even the ones that we provide to you, correct?
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand the question.
All right, so we're going through Zoom Casa just to do the basic home prep.
Right.
Time frame, I've just had the experience lately where it's hard to get contractors going quickly. How is that working out with you lately? I mean, can you get a painter in there in a week, or is it going to be 2 months wait to get the house prepped? That's my question. What's the average time frame?
Of course, the time frame does depend on the scope of work, but in my past experience, it's been closer to the 1 week to 2 week, not the 2 months.
Oh.
No, yeah. With our project managers, if they source a vendor who is either unavailable or would take too long, we just move on to the next vendor. Now, if you're using your preferred vendors, then that may be something that we have to work with.
Okay.
Lauren, can you just talk a little bit about when the agent has a listing to submit and they go to the website that we promote on all of our office hubs, they reach the landing page that asks them if they want to utilize the basic plan or
The Concierge Plus.
professional, yeah,
Mhm.
and how the basic plan is not, there's not a cost to it. They just need to kind of submit their info, right?
Absolutely. And so the beauty of it is that we, through KW Concierge, have extended the complimentary Concierge Plus. So that's the middle level. So you do get access to all of the services that is pre-sale home prep, forward. So there's never a cost to the agent. We're partnered with you. In fact, with pre-sale home prep, if the client breaks the listing agreement with you, they no longer can work with us. So if there's work that's been done, then it's due and payable immediately.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes that's, I get questions on that because that landing page has like
It's
a
confusing.
paid for version, but then the complimentary version. But
Yes, and we're actually trying to transition away from that landing page. So what I've been directing agents to do is if you do have a listing for pre-sale home prep, I'm going to put a link in the chat and it'll take you to a fillable PDF. It takes about 30 seconds. And then that's the easiest way to get the project over to us.
Oh, okay, great. I'll update that on our office hubs then.
Were there any other questions in the meantime about KW Concierge, pre-sale home prep, forward?
Is there any place that we can direct like possible people that maybe you're not necessarily working with them yet, but they may be definitely in line for something like this? Is there something we can share with them that is, you know, not too like in their face, but it would be something that they could benefit, but they need to read more about it or know more about it? Is there something-
Sure. I can send Kim, I have I have a one sheet about each program, and then I also have an FAQ sheet that will have pretty seller facing, easy to understand, easy to digest information that I can send over to you, Kim.
Okay, and I think we also you had a trifold that Sophia had at the front desk too. Is that still relevant?
I do. They're in
Okay.
so
Yeah, okay, good.
to you.
And then I also want to mention to the agent that asked that question, I'm sorry, you look really tiny, so I can't see who you are. On our websites, you know, KW provides you with a free website, and we are able to add a page to your website with all the information about the concierge program and a few of the before and after pictures like what Lauren just showed, so that you can promote it that way too on your website.
Thank
So
you.
just let us know and we'll add that. Actually, Scott Leroy has all that information. So if you just send Scott an email and ask him to add that to your website, he'll do that. Takes about 24 hours.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And then Lauren, I'm sorry if you already mentioned this, but maybe I missed it. You know, sometimes sellers might say, well, you know, my brother is a painter and I want to use my brother. Can you explain the process of how they can, or did you already do that?
No, I didn't.
About how, okay.
Yeah, that's a great point. So if their brother's a painter, as long as he's licensed and insured, we can work with them. Unfortunately, that's just one of the things we can't make any exception on. It's our way to protect ourselves, you know, with liability issues, because if the brother slips and falls and then tries to sue your seller, it kind of is just a bad situation all around.
But you have a process, right? The agent can submit that information for you to
Yeah.
approve them, right? Mhm.
Absolutely. We do have a vendor application link where the vendors will upload all of their information and credentials to us. And then that process of getting them approved is pretty quick, I'd say within 1 business day.
Great. Yeah, I think that's helpful to know. Okay, any other questions out there or on Zoom? We have quite a few people on Zoom too. No, okay, so that PDF, I'll make sure we put it in the morning email so everybody has that copy. And then also we'll just make sure Sophia has some of those brochures, right? Or flyers, whichever you.
I can get those brochures to you. I'll put them in.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Thank you, Kim, for all of your help and,
Sure.
facilitating this. I hope you enjoyed lunch and I look forward to working with you all really soon.
Thanks, Lauren.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Uh,
Bye.